Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. This is my YouTube channel, Just Count Me in Yoga, and my name is Sari Stone. I'm a holistic life coach, a tutor, and a yoga teacher. My students have been asking me for quite some time to post my classes, and so here's the first batch. These actually were pre-recorded during the COVID times. I recorded them for my job, but I will be recording starting in January 2 live classes a month, possibly more. And if you like these, please like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Instagram at SariStone2025 and come check out my podcast, Just Count Me In, about living your best life. And that also starts January 29th, 2025. I hope you enjoy your practice. Let's get into it. Namaste. So thank you so much for joining me today. So for today's class, you're going to need a mat for a traction surface. And if you have a block or books or something that you can use to prop yourself up on, that's also helpful. Really nothing else needed, just a willingness to explore. So let's get started. We're going to start in standing and taking a moment to center ourselves down. So this practice is aimed to move energy head to toe and to strengthen and stabilize. Take a big breath in, starting with the breath, pressing the palms together, shoulders roll down and out of the ears. Find the four corners of your feet. Take your stance here. Spread your toes wide. Make sure that your weight is evenly distributed between two legs. Pressing your palms, shoulders out of the ears, heart up. Breath in and breath out. Feeling the tension just drain out of you already. Big deep breath in, oxygenate, and a breath out. One more through the nose. And then exhale the air through the mouth again. Now from here, sweep your hands up. Press your palms together. We're going to come to standing half moon. So pressing the palms together, you can cross the thumbs, taking the ears between the biceps. Again, the heels are slightly wider than the toes. Breath. Now I'm grounding down into my left foot and finding my left arch. Lift a little bit, breath out, arc over to the right. Pushing the hips out to the left is totally fine, but keeping yourself focused on forward. Two more. Gaze can be anywhere. One more breath. Come back up to center on the inhale, and then pull the belly button into the spine, re-engage, bend your elbows here, uncross your thumbs, and press your head into your arms, opening up through the chest. Now gently interlace your fingers behind your head, give your cervical spine, give your neck a little rub here, broaden across the collarbones. Again, readjust the feet, breath in. Expansiveness through the chest, breath out. When we're in situations of stress, sometimes, or that we perceive as stressful, sometimes we contract. One of the places that we contract is the shoulders and the chest. That's actually two. Breath. And exhale. Reach your arms up on the inhale, fingers interlaced toward the ceiling, big inhale, and then exhale. Press your palms together across opposite thumb. Again, shoulders out of the ears. Look straight ahead, soften the gaze, but try to keep your eyes open for this practice. Breath in, and breath out over to the side. Peace does not come from everything being totally quiet, so ground down, ears between the biceps, pull up the sole of that right foot, breath, rotating the chest ever so slightly, keeping the press of the palms, breath out. There's a lot happening here, although it doesn't appear to be. Kick the hips out to the right and arc to the left. Exhale the air. Breath in on the inhale, pinkies towards each other. And then exhale, cactus the arms, offer the heart. Interlace your hands behind the back on the inhale. Puff up the chest, up and round. And then exhale, bend the knees, tip the weight forward, lean all the way down to your first forward fold. Now release the hands here. Here's where the block can come in handy. You can press your right hand into a block or into the ground, or you can keep it near your knees if you like. Breath and breath out. Reaching that left arm up. Now I'm going to ask you, just for where we're going today, to put your left hand on your sacrum and then take a twist open. See what happens to your sacrum. You can pick the right side up. Exhale the air. And then back to center. Inhale. You can start by reaching the arm up and shifting the gaze, or putting your hand on the sacrum so that you keep that left side picked up. Encouraging rotation of your chest. We're starting right out of the gate with a twist here. Breath in. Might be a lot for you. Breath out. In the fall, we like to concentrate on the organs of the large intestine. Breath and twist. And the lungs. Release. Now bend your knees. Arms out in front of you. Toes are closer together than the heels, and you can squeeze a block if you want here. We're going to do a different version of Utkatasana today. We're going to do the hot yoga version, so we're going to come down as low as you can come. Maybe heels come up. And you're reaching forward to counter your balance like you're holding somebody's hands. Breath, high up on the toes. Breath out. Now palms down. Shoulders out of the ears. Inhale, ground down through the ball mounds of the feet and come up. And then back bend is your exhale. Now weight is on the left leg. Bring your right knee into your chest. Single wind relieving pose. Give the squeeze. And we're going to do eagle pose, Garudasana. That strengthens every single joint in your body. What can be better than that? And then cross your right leg over your left, and you can make a kickstand as I'm doing, or you can wrap that leg all the way around, keeping the hips pointing straight towards me. So breath and breath out. Then right arm comes underneath, left arm on top, and give a little squeeze. If this is too much on your shoulders, place your hands on your shoulders and round the back that way. Otherwise, weight is distributed and squeeze everything. Think about your joints getting stronger. Breath in, breath out. This is also said to be an immune boost, so I'm going to tip back a little bit so that my spine is vertical, not tipping forward this time. Inhale. Exhale through your mouth, which we've all become very shy, understandably, about doing. One more. And exhale. Now release, unwrap, hands up on the inhale. This time hook your thumbs and come to a gentle back bend here. Pushing the pelvis forward, reaching up and back like I'm trying to put my handprints on the ceiling. Ears between the biceps. Breath, big psoas stretch. Breath out. Now sweep the arms. The left arm is going to come underneath the right. This time we're doing the arms first, pressing your hands into your shoulders. Breathe in here. Feel that tension that you've got possibly going on in your back, and lean back into it. It's as if you could stand right up against a wall. Do you feel your shoulders? Do you feel your lower spine? Tuck the pelvis a little bit, breath. And then pick up the left leg. Bring that knee in and cross it over. Now you can make the wrap, or you can do as I'm doing, I'm modifying, I'm doing a kickstand. As long as I'm squeezing my thighs, leaning back, pressing the palms, breathing into that space between my shoulder blades. Feels so good. Breath, take all that tension out. Breath out. 3 more breaths here. Eagle pose. Every single joint is being strengthened with this pose, even my fingers. 2 more. Each breath I get my depth from bending my standing leg, balancing with the other one like a kickstand, or taking a wrap. 1 more. Release the arms up on the inhale very gently, and then press your palms, ears between the biceps, forward fold is your exhale. Inhale, come up halfway, and exhale, forward fold again. Ragdoll pose. So hands can be behind you for a tight hip flexor. Just let your head hang. You can interlace your hands at the base of your skull, sway a little side to side, or traditional ragdoll, arms and hands inside the elbows. Just tractioning the spine, moving a little side to side with your breath, but keeping the head out of it. Just let your head go. Shake it yes, shake it no. I happen to be recording on a Friday, it's especially happy. Inhale, come up halfway, and exhale, forward fold. Now bend the knees, reverse swan dive, come all the way up. Dancer's pose. So, or standing bow, okay? From here, my weight is on the left leg, my arm comes out to the side, left arm reaches up, I'm grounding down, out of my shoulder blade, reaching that arm up, here near the bicep, weight shifts onto my left leg, and I'm gonna pick up my right leg and grab the foot. This can be the pose, or if you want, you can give a little kick, and a little reach, keeping the hips closed so that eventually the knee is going to disappear behind the hip bones from the forward angle. 1 breath in and breath out. Inhale, come up to the center, and then exhale, we'll do the other side. I'll give you a front view. So I'm grounding down, 4 corners of the feet. Right arm reaches, left arm comes to the side. We're going to do a couple of these today. Bend up your left leg, and then grab the inside of the foot, and give a little kick, and a little reach. Keeping those hips closed, pulling the belly button into the spine. Balance can be a little tricky. I happen to be recording this early in the day, but I don't need an excuse. Sometimes balance is just tricky. Reaching and kicking, this pose teaches presence. You're in for 4 more breaths. Set your drishti, soften your gaze. Last one, and release. Come up on an inhale, and then exhale. Press your palms together in front of your heart. Single wing relieving pose. Bring your right knee into your chest, like we did on the other side, and give it a squeeze. Now from here, you can stay here, or you can grab that foot from underneath. This pose stimulates the ascending and descending colon. Finding your breath. Now from here you can extend that leg out, reach it out, and some of you might straighten that leg and get your nose to your knee. It's not in my forecast today, but you might be there. Just reaching and standing tall. Be proud of yourself that you're doing yoga today, that you've come to your mat to practice, and release. Put that leg down, sweep the arms up on the inhale, gathering the energy around you, pressing your palms to the heart center on the exhale. Now weight is going to be on the right leg, and left knee comes in with a little squeeze. Find your ground, set your drishti, stare at something that's not moving. Take deep breaths. And then maybe grab the foot and maybe extend that leg out. I'm modifying on this side, so I'm not going to straighten my leg and try to get the forehead to the knee. But you can try. Yoga really causes us to have radical acceptance of where we are, where our bodies are. So the question is this: are you listening? Release your exhale. Sweep the arms up on an inhale breath, and then wide-legged forward folder, Prasarita. So more than hip width. Toes are further out than, toes are closer in than heels. Hands on the hips, and do a couple hip circles just to loosen up those ligaments. Starting to awaken the body. You should feel your energy being balanced already. We release some major centers where we hold stress. Now arms out wide, chest bright, reach through your pinkies, and then fold forward on the exhale. Prasarita, coming all the way down to the ground. Now I've been working with people in taking a very, very wide downward facing dog here. This is up to you. You're between your biceps. More traditional yoga with this pose would have your hands interlaced behind your back. And knuckles come up, skyward for the pectoral muscles, and then forward. You can bend the right knee a little bit here, and then bend the left knee a little bit, coming into the blade of the foot. Opening up the hamstring, engaging the quadriceps to protect your knee joint will facilitate a greater opening in your hamstring. Now inhale, release the hands, come up to a halfway lift. And exhale, take your left hand, put it on your sacrum, and twist your chest open. Again, in for a few breaths. Back to center, and then left hand down. Right arm on your sacrum, tipping the weight forward. Keeping that left hip going up. We want the hips nice and level. So breath and twist. Breath out. Pushing from the tailbone through the crown of the head. Exhale the air, lower down. Now hands on the hips, support your back and come up. Inhale the star pose. Toes out, heels in. Hands on the hips here. Pivot to face the front of your mat, or the right of your mat. Step that left foot in a little bit. So here's one for your metabolism. Press your hands up, thyroid stimulator, cross the thumbs, ears between the biceps. I've got space between my feet. I'm tucking my chin and then rolling down with a rounded back, pressing my palm, ears between the biceps, rounding down through the ball mound of my right toe and engaging my right quadricep to protect my knee. I'm going to keep this tuck very constricted, so just sips of air. And maybe I'm going to release my hands. And lately, I've been keeping that tuck, which is the thyroid purpose, and walking my fingertips back to face my left foot. Bring for 5 breaths. legs together and come out of the way you came into it. Now inhale here, interlace your hands behind your back, arch the heart, look up. You should feel your heat building. And then weight is on your right leg. Left leg is going to cross over. Arms come out wide to a T, figure 4 pose. So you might stay here, bending that knee. You might press your right hand into your left foot, put your left hand on the block. You might come to toe stand, you choose. I'm going to stay right here. So again, I'm in for 4 breaths. We're going for depth and quality today. How's the quality of your breath? When we breathe deeply, it tells our bodies that everything is okay. Last breath, exhale. Weight is on the right leg again. Come up. Remember we said we were going to do 2 sets of dancer. Here's your second set. Weight is now on the left leg. Right arm reaches. Left arm comes out like you're a waiter carrying a tray, or a server, sorry. And then bring your right foot, inside of the right foot to your right hand, and reach it open. Give it a little kick. Air between the biceps, shoulders stay squared, hips are squared. You're in for 4 breaths. Kicking and reaching. Last breath in. Exhale the air. Hands come up on the inhale. Then forward fold is your exhale. Step that left leg back. Point the toes out and come up. Star pose is your inhale. This is where we started. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back, arch the heart up, toes are out, heels are in. And now hands on the hips. Pivot to face the left. Pivot to face your left. Just checking we're doing well with time. So bring your arms up. And then cross your thumbs, tuck the chin, and go where you can go. I like to bend my knee when I start because that helps me to get my nose a little bit closer, forehead a little bit closer, but you don't have to. You might need to step your right foot out a little bit, keeping that tuck in your chin. And breath out. One more. Exhale. Now release the hands for the last 2. Walking your hands back so that your fingers are pointed towards that left foot. Go as deep as you can. Inhale here. And then a deep exhale. One more. Breath out. Walking your hands back up. Round the back and come up on the inhale. Interlace your hands behind your back on the exhale. Arch the heart, square the hips. And then exhale the air. Now weight is on the left leg. Here you go with figure 4 again. Pick your right leg up. And then cross it over. Maybe put your hand on the inside of the foot and the other hand on the block. You can have hands at heart center. Go as low as you want. This is great for your outer hips and for balance and stability. I think the more stable we can remain. 3 more breaths. Remembering that don't misunderstand you're wobbling from lack of stability. 1 more. Release, put the right leg down, sweep the arms up, second set of dancer on this side. Left arm, right arm comes out. And reach over, take a small stretch. And then both arms up. Left arm comes out, right arm circles up and over. And stay with that. Now right arm up. The wobble is necessary for the balance. Balance doesn't mean that we're standing perfectly still. Balance means that we're going a little side to side. Just remember that. Reach. The stillness is internal. Breath out. Now bend up your left knee. Grab that foot from the inside. And then reach, a little kick, a little reach. Reaching with that arm, setting my drishti. I'm softening my eyes. One more. Be fluid like water. Be gentle. Go to your depth. And breath out. Release. Nice job. Shakti clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. And a smack. All right. Hands at your heart center. Here we go. Tree pose. So tree can be practiced on the right leg first. You can use a kickstand. You can push on the calves. You can bring that left foot in to the top of the thigh for the opening, or Bikram tree. We're going to hold this for 5 breaths today. Finding the 4 corners of your right foot. And then for today, take your left heel if you're pressing and bring it a little bit more toward the camber, towards the front, and point the left toes a little bit more towards the back. Take your thumbs, press them into your heart center, and find your tree. Flowing that energy from your crown all the way into the ground. Last breath in. Exhale the air. Now release. Sweep the arms up, shake out the legs, and then weight on the left leg. Right foot picks up. And bring that right foot in. Or Bikram if you choose. The only place you can't press is on your knee. We don't want any lateral pressure. And then I'm working my right toes towards the back, my right heel towards the front. That helps to facilitate the opening in the head. Softening the gaze. Drishti is important because we want to be able to take this practice off our mats. So when we're in a stressful situation, or maybe somewhere we'd rather not be, you can come back to this. That's why we practice with our eyes open. It used to be that we would close your eyes and go within. I would really encourage you, if that's what you need, you can do that. But get to a point where you can start to soften your gaze. Find the 4 corners of the room and just rest as awareness. Awareness doesn't need circumstances. It just needs you, your willingness. One more breath in. And exhale, release. Sweep your arms up on the inhale. And exhale the air, hands on the hips. Now step your feet out wide. Point your toes to the right, and left toe comes to the right as well. We're going to come to regular pyramid pose and warrior 3. So first, press your palms together behind you, broadening across the collarbones, and then reach out long through the crown. There you go. Just breathe. Exhale the air. 2 more breaths. Last one. You can release your head. Forehead to shin pose. Take a bind if you want here. It's up to you. You do what works. You should feel a nice opening through the hamstring. If you want to do the IT stretch, you can place your hands down. Point your toes to the right. Be on the outside edges of both feet and walk your hands to the right. This is a wonderful IT stretch if you have other workouts you're doing, or simply if you don't stretch your IT that often. One more. And exhale. Coming back to center. Standing split is your inhale. Weight is on the right leg lifts. I would encourage you for what we're going to do today, take your right hand to your sacrum and experiment with twisting up. Reaching through the heel. One breath in and breath out. Bring your left knee behind your right on the inhale. And then come to a seated twist on the exhale. So slowly lower yourself down or use your core. And then right arm comes behind you, left arm reaches up. Twist it open on the exhale. Lengthen through the crown of your head. And twist a little more. Each inhale lengthens us up. Each exhale twists us deeper. One more. And exhale. You can also do something if you want. If you want to experiment to take the bind this way, almost there. That left arm comes around in front of the right leg and the right arm comes around behind. It's not any better, it's just what deepens the pose for you. One more. And exhale. Left arm down, right foot comes behind the left. Press up on the inhale. And arch open. A little more weight in that right knee will help. And exhale the air, lower down. From here, weight is on the right foot. Sweep your left leg up. Almost done with the first part. And then exhale, step it through. Drop your right heel in and come up, star pose. Star pose again. Hands on the hips and pivot to face the left. Left leg is forward this time. And then bring your arms up on the inhale. And press your palms together behind your back on the exhale. Just a couple minutes left. Breath. And breath out. Pyramid pose. You might need to get more width between your feet. Lengthening out through the crown of the head from the tailbone. Breath. Breath out. Lower down. Some of you might take that bind. You might not. It's not necessary unless it deepens your practice. Ask yourself the question, is this what my body needs? And breath. Place your hands down. If you did the IT stretch on this side, do it on the other. Point your toes. Walk your hands over to the left. One breath. Breath out. Exhale. Come back to center. Walk your hands back. We're going to come one-legged halfway lift on the left leg. Grab down with your right hand, left hand to the sacrum, and take your twist. We have about 2 minutes left on this side. Possibly one. Exhale. Chamber your knees and come to a seated twist, or use your core to get down, up to you. Reach your right arm up on the inhale. And a slow twist to the left on the exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. 2 more breaths. One more. Now from here, you rotate and come to flat dance pose, right arm down, left foot behind and sweep up. A little more weight in this left knee will give you a bigger opening across the psoas. So breathe into it, breath. And breath out, lower down. All right, you did the first half. We're getting ready for the second half of your class. We ended our standing part of the flow, and we're gonna now conclude the second half, now that you're nice and open, with the seated portion. So breath is your most important friend. Awareness, your second best friend. So I'm gonna say, come to your breath, and that facilitates the awareness of where you are in the pose. When you lose your breath, that's gonna cue you, I'm going too deep, or I could go a little bit deeper if you feel that you need to deepen your breath. So from here, start with a very wide-legged fold, wide-legged, flexing the toes, removing a little cheek from underneath you, breathing up on the inhale, and twisting the torso over the right leg on the exhale, flexing the foot and pressing my knee into the ground. If you feel like you need a little bit more, two options. Right hand can be on the inside with your elbow and left arm open. I'm grounding my left hip down. Breath out. Great side stretch. Now from here, you can also take your left hand to the outside of your right foot and do a little twist. Right arm comes around behind, maybe a small twist here. And then back to center. Reach the arms up on the inhale, and then walk your hands toward the center on your exhale. Maybe come down to your elbows. Maybe bend up your elbows, hands behind the head, half tortoise. If you want to go for the full tortoise, we're going to do that in a minute. Some people, left hand to the inside of the left foot, or a gentle bow over. Right arm can reach, grabbing down through that right hip, taking that twist, and then switching hands. Taking the right hand to the outside of the left foot and bringing that left arm around, maybe grabbing the foot and getting in a little bit deeper for a twist. Coming back up to the center on the inhale. If you wish to go to tortoise pose, you can take your hand underneath, your left hand underneath, and then eventually my chest is going to come flat. If not, you can simply reach towards your toes. If you want to modify, reach towards your toes and come forward with your chest. Rolling the inner thighs up. So big breath here. Breath out. One inhale. Supta Baddha Konasana. So we had a very big expansion. We're going to come and put the soles of our feet together, interlace our hands underneath, take the shoulders out of the ears, maybe a little rocking side to side. If I press the outside edges of my feet together, it encourages a greater opening in my hips, and my legs fall apart a little bit easier. Breath and exhale. Feel that coming out of the tension coming out of your shoulders as well. Okay, now from here, take your right foot, place it in front of you so that that shin is parallel to the front. Full expression, full pigeon pose, Rajakapatasana. Wonderful for the SI joint. And this time of year things get triggered. If you're in an area where you have seasons and your temperature is getting colder, or there's a barometric fluctuation, this is very helpful. So knee over ankle. Eventually my knee will touch my ankle, maybe. If not, it's still stretching the muscles that I need and strengthening my hip joints. While you're breathing, you can remember to equalize the weight in your sitting bones. Magic doesn't start to happen in this pose until you're in it for about 30 seconds, so just to warn you. And you'll notice as you practice this one over time, your knee will get closer. You can twist in this pose or lean forward if that's comfortable for you and you feel like that maximizes your stretch. I've only met one person in over 10 years of teaching who didn't feel anything in this pose. So I would say if you don't feel anything, I would still practice it because that means your hips are in the shape that they need to be in and you probably will not have sciatic pain, although I am not a doctor. I think we know that. So one more. And then exhale. So slide your left leg on top of your right and come to cow face pose. So knees are stacked eventually. Some of you might want to be on the block for this. Your knees can be as close to you as you want them or as far apart as you want them. Okay, from here, wait and equalize your weight as best you can. No stress, no strain. Just breathe into it. Breathe into any area that you perceive as having tension in this pose. This is for the outer hips. And then right arm comes up on the inhale. Pat yourself on the back for making it this far in class. Bring your elbow up. You're going to feel so good when this is done. Left arm comes around. You can take a bind. If you have a strap, you could use a strap, but a 2-finger bind is fine. If not, just keep that elbow up and broaden across the collarbones, getting that length from my right elbow to my right hip. Again, coming back to the breath. And then resting as awareness in this pose, I bring my energy to the 4 corners of the room, of the ceiling. Decentralizing ourselves is key to de-stressing ourselves. We tend to compound our stress by contracting into ourselves. And the more we can go out, the better off you feel. One more. Exhale. Nice. Go ahead and release. We can switch out the legs, but first we're going to put the left leg down so that it is parallel, the calf is parallel, and then the right leg can come around on top. That knee is going to be over the left ankle. I'm going to modify this. Easy seat. If this is too much on your hips, you can always sit on the block or do a modification just so that you're sitting. And you've got that left leg square to the front. Knowing that eventually that right knee is going to be right above that left ankle. When you're ready, slide that foot over. Same thing on this side. So you want everything in as straight of a line as we can get it. Noting that there's going to be variable differences. There's going to be variables from one side to the other. Maybe you do this pose on a block if you feel like you need to open your hips a little bit more. Bring your left arm up, elbow toward the ceiling, and the right arm comes around behind. Pressing my right hand at my back, maybe making the bind, maybe not. Keeping the breath. Center on the inhale, come off the block. If you're on the block, we're going to come to cobra pose. So rolling onto your stomach, spine strengthening. I'm going to take my hands, place them underneath my shoulders, and lengthen, pressing my feet into the ground so much that my knees come up off the ground just for a moment, chin to the mat. And then I'm looping the shoulders and bringing myself up. Raising through the spine. Exhale, lowering down. Again, I drag my hands back about an inch. And then I come up. Maybe a little higher. And lengthening. For this last one, I'm going to press my feet into the ground and interlace my hands behind my back. And bring myself up. Hands leave the sacrum. Long through the cervical spine, not cranking the neck. This is spine strengthening. And then coming to locust pose. So for locust pose, you can either have your hands out alongside your body, kissing the mat, picking the legs up, using the erector spinae muscles, or you can place your hands under you, palms down, and have your pinkies touch, just rolling one side and the other. Shalabhasana, so bringing the legs up. Getting that strength, that length. And release, exhale. Go ahead, bend up your knees, place your hands underneath your shoulders, straighten the arms on the inhale, and exhale, drop the hips, arch the heart, look up, shoulders out of the ears. One breath, and breath out. Now cross your knees underneath you, and you can come to sit on a block if that's available to you, and straddle the block, or if you're able to sit in that space between your knees, sit in that space between your knees. Now if you're here, your work is push yourself up. If you're on a block. If you're not on a block, you can go a little bit deeper. You can come up and tuck your pelvis under, like round it, tuck it, and then lower down, maybe to the elbows. Pick it up again, tuck it, and then maybe lower down a little bit lower, keeping the knees closer together and reaching the hands while you're simultaneously stretching the front part of the body. You can grab opposite elbow if you want, you can cactus the arms if you want. Huge, huge quad opener here. This helps with patience, anxiety, if you ever experienced those things, problems with that. If you don't, let me know your secret. Again, resting in this pose with your breath. It's asking a huge opening, asking a lot of you. Exhale. So come up very, very carefully out of this pose. Avoid going side to side. And then straightening yourself. Coming onto one side, coming onto your right side. Reach your arms up, grab your right arm, arc over to the left. Come back to center. Other side, drop the hips to the left. Grab the left arm with the right hand and arc over. And we're going to come to camel pose. So standing on the knees. Just checking time. We're doing well. block between my knees, you might want to take the mat and double it up. I curl my toes. You can also have flat feet here. And I take the shoulders up, back, and down, squeezing the block to engage the outer hips and keep the sacrum broad. And then maybe I drop my chin a little bit, reaching back diagonally with my ears, taking my hands to my heels and arching the heart. Sips of air. Up on the inhale, huge surrender pose. We're going to come to rabbit's pose to counteract that back bend. So sitting back on the heels, tucking the chin, rounding forward, putting the crown of my head on the mat, picking my heels up, picking my hips up, and now flattening my feet so that the tops of my feet are pressing into the mat. And breathing into that thoracic spine. More. Exhale the air. Go ahead and push yourself up. Woo. All right. Let's tip over to the side. Extend the legs out in front of you. Reach up on the inhale. Twist it over to the right on the exhale. Grab the outside edge of your right foot with your hand and lift it up, reach the right arm up, make a little mudra here, just staying for this twist. Now from here, bend up your left leg, cross your right heel over the left, pick up the hips, bring them a little closer, take your right hand to the outside of the right hip. You can grab your left shin and roll until you find that area that feels tight, feels a little knotty. You might have to go pretty far. That's your piriformis. It goes across your sacrum. It starts at your sacrum originally and then goes across your glute. It's said to be a trauma holder. Also responsible for sciatic discomfort. And then let's get the other side. So figure four on this side. That left foot crosses. Pick up the hips. Bring them closer. Maybe the shin, left arm to the outside of the left hip. And do a little rolling, do a little releasing. Find that spot. Some people, it offers up right away, and some people you really have to dig in a little bit. It should feel like a sore spot. And eventually, over time, you'll still feel it, but hopefully with a little practice releasing this piriformis, it will help you to feel better. One side will also be different than the other. So breath out. Back down. Let's come to reverse tabletop. So you can do this with a block. You don't have to. Yes, you can facing either way. If you want a block, you can put it between your knees. Take the hips up on the inhale. And then exhale. Push down through your fingers. Don't dump into the wrist. I'm clawing the mat. And then drop the head back with the hips up. And lower down. Come onto your back. Give yourself a squeeze. I like to grab the outside of my feet with my hands. You don't have to. Give a little squeeze. Maybe rock around. Take a lap around your sacrum, north, south, east, west. And then we want to stabilize the sacrum to the ground. So cross your ankles. Press your knees apart gently. and feel that grounding. And this is a pose. You know, one of my yoga teachers said she taught that each transition between poses should be treated with the same respect that you give the asana itself. And that was a different way for me to think about it, kind of like a John Asher picture where he uses the black and white and you see two totally different pictures. So I'm going to say this is a pose, and then we'll be transitioning to the next one. One more. And breath out. Okay, bring both knees to the chest again, double windmill eating pose. And now grab your block or your books or whatever else you want to prop up against. Keep your right knee in, extend your left leg out, and then press it to the outside of your right ribs as much as you can. Eventually this will come to the ground here. And then cross it over, escort it over your body, let it rest on the block. Pick up your hips, make sure they're squared. And then right arm can come out. Lately I've been reaching my left arm up. But it's up to you. Do what you can do. Just the importance here is grounding that cardioplexus nerve, and that's the nerve in your back. Very calming. Again, finding your space, resting as awareness, finding the four corners of the room. One more breath. Center. Extend your right leg out. Bring your left knee into your chest. You can switch your block. Pressing that knee to the outside of your left ribs. Ready, escorting the leg over, letting it rest on the block, picking up your hips to make sure they're stacked. We don't want to tug on the sacrum here. And then left arm down, right arm down, or above your head, you choose. You'll feel a complete difference between one side and the other. That's normal. And we used to say, turn your head toward the left. If you shift your gaze towards the left, that's adequate enough. You can gently turn your head. Or you can just shoot your gaze there. When you're ready, come back to center. Bring both knees into your chest. Rock a little bit around and then go for a little happy baby or dead bugs pose. So you can bend your knees and grab the inside or outside of the feet as long as your sacrum stays down. And rock a little side to side. I've been finding lately it's been very stabilizing for my spine to rock with my legs extended and go all the way to the ground. Engaging the core, tucking the pelvis a little. Coming back to center. Reaching the legs straight up the wall, Viparita. And arms can stay to the side or they can be along your sides. from here, if you choose to, you can press up into plow pose, either supporting your back or with your arms down. Keeping that compression in your chin. This is a hugely detoxifying pose, so good for the immune system. Again, that thyroid, that metabolism. And when you're ready, slowly, slowly lower yourself down. Death man's pose if you choose. Lower down. Give yourself a big, huge squeeze. Gratitude for your body, for coming to yoga. And then exhale the air. Extend your legs out. And take up a little space. Take up some space here. Arms press out. Now from here, let your eyes fall closed. Swallow to release your jaw. Softening the soles of the feet. And letting that energy come up through the ankles. The shins. Let it swirl around your knees. Breathing it up through the thighs. Softening the pelvis. Let that swirl around your belly. Feel that behind your heart. Soften through your shoulders. Sweeping down your arms through your fingertips. And the back of the head. Widening behind your ears. Throat, behind your eyes, through the space between your eyes, and then the crown of your head, feeling that connection. You can shift yourself if you feel like you're a little bit out of alignment. And when you're ready, take a big breath and a big stretch. Symbolically starting anew, going to the right side or the left, whichever nostril is slightly more open, you can decide that you would want to go to. And again, this is a transitional pose. This is not a throwaway. When you're ready, gently push yourself up to a seated position. You can sit on a block or straddle your block. Placing your hands at your solar plexus, thumbs pressing in, fingertips pressed together, bow slightly. Keeping that space between our palms, reminding us that that's the space between stimulus and response. It's a symbolic space. That we always have that freedom to choose. One breath here. My hopes are that this class has helped you to calm yourself, reconnect with some energy, release some tension, and that you're ready to go about your day or your night, feeling a little bit more grounded, a little bit happier, and a little bit calmer, definitely more aware. Thumbs to your third eye center. And we always stay connected to the light within us. and the way that it connects us to all beings. Thank you so much for coming and practicing with me today. I will see you next week. Namaste.